G'day, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our last game of today. It's MiTH Trust up against Arrow Gaming, the decider to see who's going to advance onto the main event of the inaugural. We've got one apiece tied up, and it's time for Game 3. MiTH Trust versus Arrow Gaming. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. Joining me for today's final match, as well as all the previous matches. Big thanks for all your work today, Cameron. It is none other than my fellow Australian base skip. Thoughts on Game 3? Who's going to take it?
Oh, I don't know. It's tough to call. I think MiTH Trust are coming in with a whole lot of momentum. They've got they can kind of shrug off game one a little bit, I think, as well. Oh, we had a stand-in, we had the disconnects, we had the pause,
Yeah?
and well, they looked very convincing. So we'll see. I do think a lot of it is going to come down to the draft. So maybe we can chat about it as well once we get to the other side.
Yeah. Oh, we'll hop ourselves in. Is this the same MiTH Trust offline play? Is this still KYT? He's just changed his name, or?
Um, yeah, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's him. I checked. So you can't check
There we
his
go.
Steam profile directly,
Yeah.
but I went to Lakel's Steam profile and I checked his friends and I found him and then I checked his aliases and it's KYT. So
True detective work. Well, he's just retagged up as the name he was using the past two games. Yeah, it's gonna be KYT once again. So MiTH Trust, Shadow Shaman Sanking, and it worked for him last game. They'll go for it again. The greedy Sanking play, stacking jungle. It's greedy, but you get away with that kind of greed nowadays on Sanking, so it works.
well, this time around there is a Visage for Arrow
Team
Gaming,
ban.
so I don't know. I think they're a little bit better prepared to maybe try for the aggressive trial. And I think the biggest thing that Mistrust could do to deter it is just make sure that they grab a solo that can do well
10
against the
seconds
Centaur. And the one that springs to mind straight away is probably the
5 seconds
Timbersaw.
remaining.
Because if you can make sure that your 1v1 lanes are wins if the enemy team chooses to go for an aggressive
Reserve
tri lane, then
time.
there's no incentive really whatsoever to go aggro. And I think Mistrust do need to draft for the worst case scenario here. If they're not prepared for an aggressive tri lane, and Arrow Gaming have both a very strong aggressive tri lane and at least one winning solo matchup, they'll probably go aggro, and that could just be the game right there.
Yeah.
But oh, Mistrust just pick up a
Radiant
Doom here.
team pick.
Well, I'll just see how they look to lane this. Generally not a like Kells hero traditionally, so I would look more towards like a solo mid Doom even. I, I just I'd be surprised if Lakel's is playing the Doom. I don't know.
Not a terrible offlane hero
Yeah.
either. We've seen, it's not really an offlaner, I guess, in the conventional sense. Like you can
10
buy boots, you
seconds
can run
remaining.
down there, you can look spooky and like have the supports deal with you a little
5
bit, and then you go to the
seconds
jungle,
remaining.
start eating some creeps, and
Yeah.
you always pretty much catch up with Devour. But I
Reserve
don't think
time.
Myth have really locked in too much with the Doom, and it's a hero where you're like, well, we don't really have any clear idea of what the enemy team are doing.
Dire team
I guess
pick.
Doom is fine. Like Doom is his ultimate is universally good.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There's no longer any heroes. Like Lifestealer used to be okay because he still had Feast for whatever reason when he was doomed. So that was a little bit weird. But these days, Doom is pretty much like universal counter.
Yeah. All encompassing. Generally not played as a jungler,
10
but yeah, you can
seconds
run him in the safe
remaining.
lane, run him mid. Like you say, even offlane, like a few teams do run him in the
5
offlane. But Arrow
seconds
Gaming pick up the
remaining.
Rubik, so they'll be looking towards maybe sealing Doomy in this game, but there's lots of other good spells with
Reserve
Serpent
time.
Ward, Sanking there as well, but it'll be a hard game for Rubik to stay alive. Like you've got the center and the front lines. Arrow Gaming are going to need a bit more than that as far as here's that pack a punch, and we'll see exactly what they look to get. But for now, MiTH Trust, their fourth pick coming up, and this will probably reveal a lot more about their lineup, because this will at least limit where the Doom can lane depending on what they pick here for their fourth hero.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge amount of information. And if this is a greedy-ish pick, I feel like we could see Arrow Gaming pick up something like a Mirana, just a very aggressive tri-lane farmer, and just lock into that aggro tri. Because I feel like both teams have been pretty similar on the execution front. Like, I don't think that either team has a super clear advantage
Radiant
as
team
far as going tri-lane versus tri-lane just because of their players being a little bit better. So I think that could be a strong option for Arrow. But Mythtrust end up going for a Slark.
Okay. This is This is maybe more like Lakel's plays for the safe lane farming role,
Mhm.
is what I would suspect.
But then it's a
I. Hmm.
double melee. The problem is that for Arrow Gaming, the
10
thought that's going
seconds
through their
remaining.
mind as well is, okay, we can go aggro, but what
5
do we
seconds
do if they
remaining.
A, dodge, or B, just ditch the lane? Because Myth Trust
Reserve
supports
time.
can actually roam
They
quite
can
well.
roam, but they both want at least maybe they don't need farm in the first 5 minutes of the game, but they need farm later on. Like Sand
Yeah.
really needs a blink dagger, Shadow Shaman really needs levels. So if Mithras dodge and go offensive trailing, it's a big risk, and if it doesn't pay off, they're screwed because like Sand Shadow Shaman do not catch up well, and they desperately need farm and levels.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, though, the Centaur and potentially what could be mid for Arrow, it could be fairly gankable. And
Yeah,
if it comes down to it, I think if Arrow, say, pick up like a Mirana here, I think Myth do lose the try maybe on hero composition. Probably not going to be Mirana, just because Slark is such a good hero to have against her, but
yeah.
we'll see. Could be some other aggressive tri lane.
Marana, maybe a Luna even. If you want
Yeah,
to give all
Luna's
those
not
heroes
bad.
the extra damage from the Luna. Apart from that, I'm not too sure.
You could even go for something greedy like a farming Leshrac. Well, not
bring
even
back
greedy,
the
but
Wraith
something
King
aggressive. Yeah,
against the Doom.
Wraith King round 2 could definitely be an option. And
Ooh, Night
okay.
Stalker.
nice to have against the Slark,
Yeah.
for sure. The
You
hero
want to
does not
have
go
tanky
very
heroes
well
as
with
well, just in
silences.
general, against this Myth Trust lineup. I feel at least two good tanky heroes. I think they do want to pick up a good core, like basically carry hero with this last pick. Something like along the lines of maybe the Clinks that they run in game 1, because they want some kind of ranged carry hero, I feel, to round off this lineup.
Man, I just want Wraith King again.
5 seconds.
Honestly,
Triple
like,
melee cores, though, yeah.
Night Stalker with
Radiant
lifesteal
team
for free.
Yeah, well, Night Stalker doesn't hit that, like, unless you go like an actual armlet type build. Like the Night Stalkers, at least when Yamate's been playing for Titan, it's like BKB Ag Scepter, pure tank.
Hmm.
Like you're not doing that much with right clicks.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
and it looks like Myth are thinking along the lines of that big
Yeah.
ranged core. Just
Fine.
maybe better.
Luna,
seconds
Gyro,
remaining.
Clinks. I think these are the kind of heroes Arrow want last. They're gonna
Dire
ban out the
team
Lakel's
pick.
Morphling though, so they're not convinced Slark's like safe lane or anything. And Myth Trust, I mean, it's hard to read what they want to do with these heroes. Doom and Slark both can go mid, both can go safe lane farm, both can go off lane really. It's
Yeah, I think the
very
Morphling ban
flexible.
also gives them the option to still really make up their minds about whether or not they're going to go aggro. I think their 1v1 matchups at the moment are looking fine, really,
10
because it's going to
seconds
be like
remaining.
melee v melee, so I think they should do all right there.
They're
So
looking alright, but
seconds
they don't have like
remaining.
1v1 heroes who just want to like normally when you see offensive try with 1v1 heroes, it's heroes like Invoker or Quap who can just
Reserve
farm.
But they
And a hero
win.
like Centaur and
Yeah.
Night Stalker, they want to roam. They don't want to just sit in their lane. But
yeah, and I think Arrow probably will just end up going defensively, in part because aggro is always a gamble, and you want the levels on
Yeah.
the Visage.
I think we
Real
may
bad.
see an anti-mage from Arrow Gaming. That's my prediction.
Really?
here. Yeah, I think anti-mage is good against. Like, sure, there's
10
Doom, but
seconds
like, I think
remaining.
anti-mage is still
No,
great here.
but it just goes so it's so
5
against
seconds
the
remaining.
timing of the Centaur and the Visage and the Night
Radiant
Stalker.
team
Like
pick.
It's a
I-
4 create space for 1 kind of lineup.
I guess. I
don't know.
guess.
Brewmaster. Right, well, Myth Trust have gone really tanky core heroes. Well, it's like not super tanky, but very annoying core heroes. This is a different kind of draft from Myth Trust.
Yeah, it's nice. Lots of mid-game team fight. The way that we saw the Doom played from them as well was not as a farmer. You know, he just went for
10
mech and
seconds remaining.
arcanes. So probably expecting to see a little bit more of that. And both
5
teams are
seconds
super mid-game
remaining.
centric. So this game should be decided fairly quickly, and I think we should get some flashy team fights out of it as
Reserve
well.
time.
Should be
Yeah.
good.
Let's see exactly. Arrows Gaming's their last pick. Some kind of a carrier is going to decide if they want to go more fast pace, pick up something like the Clinks again, or get that true Rising carry. Your Clinks, your Anti-Mage, Morphling banned out, but some good late game carries as well to go with this if they want to. They've got 10 seconds to decide. I feel like they're just a bit, not so much stuck,
10
but they're probably
seconds
just not
remaining.
entirely sure what's their best option against Myth Trust. They go PL though
What?
in the end. Hmm.
Uh.
You know, we were talking about PL at dinner tonight. Like, we were actually went out to Chipotle and we're like, why would you ever pick PL when there's Naga Siren in the pool? Like, you could just run a carry Naga Siren and it does everything PL does, but kind of better.
Yeah, I like that it's dinner tonight. Like the schedule in the BTS house.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
Prepare
we
for
had dinner at a
battle.
normal time. That was like 7 or
Oh.
8 p.m. It's like now, what, 9 in the morning?
yeah. But it was have you been up? Like, is that last night or is
Yeah,
that?
last night. So
Okay.
12 hours ago we had dinner, and I've been up
Yeah.
all night casting.
Ah, okay, fair enough. So you've got the graveyard shift for the most part.
Yeah. Well, we all do now. There's just Chinese Dota. Well, and European stuff. LD woke up at like 6 in the morning, I think, to cast WPC.
This damn big studio monopoly and all the good Dota. It's
Hey man, there's good Dota elsewhere. What are you talking about?
well, I feel like, I feel like I haven't seen a bunch of. There's like a bunch of casters that I haven't seen in ages. I feel like it's been you guys, good studio, and Join Dota for like every big match.
30
But,
seconds to battle.
you know, it's,
You know,
it's not the worst
the
thing.
American Dota League started off with like Mort is casting with What is Hip and Cuddle Guy. That's rolling out. I don't know.
There's stuff. There's definitely stuff going on.
We're casting out Chinese Dota. That's what we're all about here at BTS. Well, Asian Dota here with Southeast Asia, and then WPC. Like it's European at the moment, but it feels more like a Chinese. Well, it's a Chinese tournament, so.
Yeah. Oh.
The battle
Here we go.
begins.
Game Rubik, is he going to look for this cliff? Lakelz knows he has to stay so far away from that cliff. He's not going to get the cliff, but he may just get a kill here with this Grave Chill. Forces out a Scorched Earth level 1. He did not get a chance to go Devour level 1, and that's going to hurt Lakelz in this safe lane farm, so painful stuff. He was so careful to avoid the cliff though. He like skirted as far away around as possible to get past.
It was like, stay right in between the cliffs, get to the edge. Away you go. But aggro tries Centaur. Okay.
That's always
Should probably introduce the teams real quick. But.
Yeah. We'll quickly introduce the Radiant team's going to be Arrow Gaming. We've got Mozen playing the support Rubik. We've got Johnny, the captain, on the support Visage. It's going to be Xiang Stars playing the farming center in the top lane. In the mid lane, it's going to be the solo mid extraordinaire DDZ on the Nightstalk. And then finally, safe lane solo Phantom Lancer coming out from Lance against the Slark.
I guess the name fits, but yeah. Meanwhile, over on MiTH, we've got that's KYT on the Slark matching up mid. Abbott is going to be on the Brewmaster. Loves these sort of tanky, melee, initiate kind of mid heroes. And then up for the tri lane, we have Lakelz on the Doom. Supporting cast, Boombell again going to be on the Sand King. And finally, TNK is going to be on the Shadow Shaman. Actually going for a solo smoke right now. For whatever reason, has a first point in Hex.
He cannot kill Nightstalker. This Nightstalker,
no
what,
way.
6 armor, full HP pretty much, as well as a couple bottle chads to heal himself up. This kill is not happening. He's going top.
Brew doesn't even have a clap. Like,
This,
what is going on here?
he's dreaming. What's he thinking?
Dire's
He's
top
wasting his
tower
time.
is under attack.
Go home, Shadow Shaman. TNK, man. This is not going to work.
He can't even get the bottle because the Night Stalker just straight up rushed it. So,
He's got
No
his bottle
chance of
now,
getting
but
it.
it's only just going to start coming out, and Shadow Shaman will just come harass, maybe? It's going to be like a
Yeah.
20 damage per right click, maybe? Maybe a bit more, but that was
Yeah,
a questionable smoke.
yeah, I meant that like the one opportunity might have been to snipe the courier, but Night Stalker got it so fast because he just went straight. I think he just straight up rushed it, like 2 branches and like maybe 1 pooled
So
tango.
you think that's why he smoked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way you can sell it, right? Like,
Yeah.
what else is he doing there?
That's
So-
true. But you feel like Arbor would tell him, like, look, you're too late for this. He's already going to have his bottle because of just
Yeah.
you get the 2 fast. As soon as you get those, like, you only need, like, 1 last hit if you go this 2 branch build. Maybe 2 last hits, and you got to be smoking right away, like, camping that from the very get-go. But, well, that's wasted time for MiTH Trust here in the early game. So 3 minutes in, it's Arrow Gaming with this offensive trial and contesting the pool, doing a pretty good job with this. And Nightstalker going to activate a double damage rune. This will help him out a lot in this middle lane. Give Arbor some problems as far as last hitting goes.
TNK just went bot to put some pressure on the PL, and then he hexed the Doppelwalk illusion.
Oh dear.
So even that little bit of pressure is not going to work out. It could have potentially been a kill if the Stark was on his way over, but well. So MiTH are completely ditching top, and Arrow know this. So I feel like they really should not let Lakelz get away with too much.
Well, they're going to try and go on him, but he's got boots and stout shield, not to mention level 2 Scorched Earth. So killing him's tricky. I feel like they need maybe level 3s to get the 2 points in double edge and the 2 points in soul assumption, but I don't think level 2 they can kill him. Unless he's
Honestly-
really out of position.
just use your 2 range supports to get on top of the wave, harass him out, and then push the wave, dive the tower. Like, I don't think there's any reason to be fighting him off in the newts and whatnot. Just take control of what's important, which is the lane itself.
Well, PL being completely abandoned, but he's got poor man's shield, so he can shrug off a lot of this harass, but this is not going to be fun for him at bottom, it feels like. Picks up some boots to go with this as well.
What do you feel about this PL pick? We didn't really talk about it.
I don't love it. Arba at the top rune. He's going to find a regen rune, and he's going to get their full regen as well. This is trouble for the Night Stalker. Luckily, nighttime comes just at the right time. Meanwhile, First Blood actually comes on the PL bottom. Okay, Visage steeping as well. Slark wants some more blood. He's going to hit the pounce, and that's a double kill for Slark in the bottom lane. A 2-for-1 trade. Shadow Shaman goes down. First Blood did go the way of the Slark, it looks like. So, victory Myth Trust at bottom lane. Did you catch how that one started off at all?
No, I was watching the Brewmaster fighting the Night Stalker. I thought that was going to probably be a kill. But...
That nighttime... Well, I guess Night Stalker knows it's going to hit nighttime. When he goes for a 4-minute rune, it's like, well, it's going to hit nighttime as the rune spawns. So even if he gets there first, I should be safe.
Yeah, and the Brewmaster was nowhere near level 6 either, so the solo killing potential was pretty low. It's just that the Sand King happened to be in the right place at the right time.
MiTH looking really good here. They're stacking these neutrals. Actually misses that stack, the Sand King, but he wants to hit that level 3, then get the jungling going, get that second point in Sandstorm and just farm away. Because as far as the lanes go, they're looking... All 3 lanes going pretty well right now, it feels like. Even with Lakel's not doing farming great at top, he's holding his own considering he's up against a tri lane.
This aggressive tri lane just hasn't done enough. Yeah. I mean, the Doom still has a couple of creeps, he's still devouring, he's still pretty happy with his lot in life, and now Arrow deciding, okay, we didn't really accomplish enough, we didn't really, you know, put pressure on top lane, we're just gonna have to smoke the supports and go and do something else, but you don't want your Visage roaming around, and if they don't get a couple of kills here, then prospects are looking pretty grim for him to have an impact in the mid game, and then I guess they just have to fall back on the Phantom Lancer plan. Abba walks back into them.
The high ground ward's there, and the silence comes off just in time. Abba gonna go down. He did not expect that ward to give high ground vision. Zun got the telekinesis onto the high ground into what should have been fog, but the observer ward giving the vision they needed. Nice kill. Like, well, at the same time, Abba probably should have just played it safer and hightailed it out of there, but...
Yeah, it was a really odd decision for him to come back to the gank. But like you said, he didn't think that there was any vision of where he was, so he figured he could just hang around. Maybe saw a creep that was just about to die. I was like, oh, I can get that experience, you know, no problem. But he gets punished for it slightly. So Arrow, fortunately for them, are successful out of that smoke gank, and it looks like at least the one thing they do have going for them is that Centaur, traditional offlaner, he's going to be fine if they just leave him up there, and they can now just start heading down bot, running pulls, and setting up this Phantom Lancer. Though, I don't know, the PL just feels like the odd man out in this Arrow lineup. Yeah.
It's not like a counter pick to any of these core heroes, like Slark, Doom, Brewmaster. It's like, I don't feel like it matches up particularly well against any of these. Like, obviously, they're all kind of they're all kind of all low mana pool heroes who can get mana burned down quite fast by PL illusions, but even so, I don't feel like PL's a great... I mean, it's not a bad choice, but it's just never that amazing of a choice.
Yeah, as you point out, like, Phantom Lancer illusions with a Diffusal Blade are going to be pretty annoying for all of the Myth heroes, but I don't know if that's enough to say, like, okay, this is a solid game for Phantom Lancer. I guess a lot of it does depend on the build. I mean, we could even see something like a slightly more fight-oriented Phantom Lancer, like drum and treads into Diffusal Blade, casual VIP booster, you know, start moving around with this team, take advantage of that Night Stalker timing. But right now they're just 4-manning bot, which is weird.
Abba's here ready with Dust as well, so he wants to get maybe a counter kill on this PL if Arrow dive too hard on this. And actually, Lee pounces his way in. He's got the ulti as well. The Shadow Dancer's there. The Dust should come any second. Are they going to commit to this one? He does have a Primal Split, but it looks like he's been pushed too far away. Slark going to be forced back, and Abba, well, doesn't get the gank there. There was just too many Arrow heroes in the bottom lane, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, it's not a huge loss. Normally you would say he's missing out at the farm on mid, but they've actually passed that over to TNK, so he can start catching back up on the Shadow Shaman. So I think Things still looking all right. Night Stalker hasn't really got anything done with this nighttime, unfortunately. So that's definitely a problem. The hero doesn't flash farm really at all.
The first night's always a bit tricky though, with the because it comes so early and you don't have that many levels, especially because you got the point in the ulti, like which often you see Night Stalkers not get the ulti this early, just because that first night you want to have that second point in your, at least your second point in your passive or something, because like level 1 ulti is not going to make that big of a difference this early on. But well, he's going to be hitting level 7 soon, and this first nighttime just wearing off any second now.
Yeah, on the whole Night Stalker ultimate thing, I feel like the one activation of Darkness often doesn't really get you the opportunity to get another kill, while having more points in Void and Hunter in the Night would get you kills that you couldn't get otherwise. Yeah. So I would say that a shorter but more effective nighttime is...
I feel like maybe you want to try to get that first point around now when that first nighttime ends. You don't need it during the first night to extend it. That's the main thing there. Yeah. He just spammed it to extend that first nighttime, which didn't really make much of a difference. Doom in top lane though, they're going to go on the Centaur now. They're going to Burrow Strike as well as a Clap to follow this one up, and that's going to be a kill on the Centaur. No chance for a rebuttal. Nice gank, MiTH Trust. Kill off a key hero. Centaurs did buy his Blink Dagger before he died. So his Blink is waiting for him back at base, and he's going to be the key hero for Arrow Gaming to kind of, not so much get them back in this game, but at least control the tempo, especially when it's not nighttime.
Yeah, he definitely needs to make plays. The Phantom Lancer is not going to Night Stalker for now, like you said. Not Night, so he's not really going to do a heck of a lot. And they don't know that this Blink Dagger is up. They haven't seen it, so hopefully the Centaur... I really hope he doesn't just walk straight out to lane and give the game away. Because if he just smokes with, I think, even just the Rubik, they might be able to go and find a support or, you know, find a pick off here. But, okay, Darkness pops. They're gonna fight
tower
this.
Already dead. Where's this Night Stalker? He's not showing up just yet, and this Darkness only lasts 25 seconds, so he's not getting there in time. Not to mention this Observer Ward scouts his rotation out.
That's a disaster. Like, they lose the tower, and they pop Darkness, and they TP'd the Visage up as well. So the Phantom Lancer's now exposed bottom lane, and KYT can start putting on even more pressure.
They had such a solid game 1, Arrow Gaming, but they kind of slipped off in game 2 after getting an early lead. Here they are in game 3 just looking very directionless. They're just not quite sure what they want to be doing. They are going to be hitting some key levels soon. Like, this is just going to have Familiars up soon. Rubik working on that level 6 as well, but feels like they're already falling behind. You look at MiTH Trust, they not only have levels, but they're looking at key items. The Sand King Blink Dagger is going to be coming up in no time. The Doom's going to have a mech soon. Brewmaster still a bit of a ways before his Blink Dagger, but he's just got decent levels. He's been controlling the tempo fairly well, and then you've got your Slack, 1200 gold with his Treads, Orb of Venom, so I feel like MiTH Trust are just getting much better as far as item progression goes.
Yeah, and the PL is still going to take a little while to come online, so it's basically 4v5 for the time being. And MiTH, really timely mech up on this Doombringer, so things looking pretty good for Lakells. He's just randomly standing inside the base right now. Okay, so he's gonna...
It's confused, doesn't know where he wants to go.
It's like, do I need mana? But I could just go Devour a creep. But, like, okay,
things have changed for MiTH Trust when they've got Lakells playing a like utility farmer.
Yeah.
Not a Midas hero, not a Lincoln's hero, not a carry by any means.
Yeah, I think it's just... I guess the one way you can maybe sell it to Lakells is like, he's not going to win the game 1v5 as Doom, the same way that he can on his Morph and things like that. So maybe he's a little bit more inclined to go for the, okay, this is probably the best way to win the game build.
Yeah. And we are kind of like, I guess, pigeonholing him into that one role. Like I don't think we're being totally fair to him as well, saying, oh, all this guy does is farm on hard carry hero.
No, but obviously that's his biggest strength.
He's one of the like top Southeast Asian carry players, but he can play other heroes.
Yeah, definitely. And he's showing exactly that.
Yeah, he's actually been streaming a lot lately on Twitch.
Oh, nice.
eClub Thailand's like hooked him up with a streaming setup, so he's been like streaming most days on Twitch TV.
Oh, that's awesome. I think I saw like a post about it once, but I haven't actually checked it out, so I'll make sure that I go and do that.
As it stands, PL's left this bottom lane, decided to make the switch up top, and it's... Oh, they go in for the kill, but they missed the pounce, unfortunately. And with that, getting this kill's quite hard. It's going to be a hoof stomp after a Blink Dagger from a Centaur, and that's going to prevent any further damage being done. So MiTH Trust Another unsuccessful gank. This is what Arrow Gaming kind of needs. Slow the tempo right down, avoid all these ganks, and buy time for this PL to actually become a big threat. And that's what Lance is slowly becoming right now, it feels like. Not to mention this second nighttime.
Why is the PL in such an exposed lane? Like, there's no tier 1 top. There's just no safe farm to be had here. I feel like that was a little bit of a wasted rotation for him. And if, like, Arrow need to just make space for this PL, and I think the PL needs to be able to say, like, look, I want mid lane. Everybody get out of mid. These are my creeps now.
What are you doing, Rubik?
I think that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, like, Rubik, what are you doing?
Rubik's doing... Oh, he's got level 4 Ether Shot. Gets on a bad spot to have. It looks like they're trying to go in the bottom lane. Doom is up, though. There's a Burrow Strike to lead things off on the Visage. Doom actually going to get cancelled here. The silence coming out on the Doom going to prevent it from being cut. Pops a mech to keep himself alive a bit longer. Now we'll see the Doom go flying. It's out on the Rubik. Rubik going to take a fall here. And the Brewmaster just gets his ulti off before he goes down. Lance is now in trouble. He's going to get shackled up. The focus fire is there. Looks like Lance is dusted up, and the chase is on. They want to kill him. They're going to need another Boulder Toss. The Boulder Toss instead goes on the Centaur. Lance is juking and driving in the trees. He goes down 3 for 1 so far. Sand King, the only one to fall on the MiTH side, and Centaur, he's going to blink. He's going to be careful where he goes. He goes back in with a blink. Double Edge brings down the Brewmaster, who was low, but Slark will finish off the Centaur, and now it's a triple kill for KYT. He does end up going down to the Night Stalker. That's an important kill to be getting for DDZ, and looks like he wants Lakel's as well, but Lakel's is fast. He's got the Scorched Earth, he's got the Phase Boot. Bring him down will not be easy. Familiar Stun going to slow him down here. Needs another Void. Does have it in 3 seconds. Lakel's got to keep on running. Sanking, Epicenter, Blink, Burrow Strike. He wants DDZ. DDZ going low. He's going to take a fall. He gets baited in. Lakel just keeps himself alive long enough to bring the Night Stalker in. That Night Stalker just, he saw blood and, well, ended up being his own blood.
Great fight, and Shadow Shaman just stays bot, gets level 8, and manages to pick up the tower.
Damn. Yeah, T1 tower.
Nice recovery from TNK. And that's his Arcane Boots up as well. Like, he is super on track right now.
Fantastic fight for MiTH. The one small thing that didn't go great was the Slark dying in the end, but end of the day, like, you're getting 4... Like, I think was that almost a complete team wipe, I want to say?
I think so, yeah. I think they did get everybody.
Yeah, after the Night Stalker died, that was a 5 for 2 trade, plus a T1 tower.
Yeah, Rubik got doomed. He definitely died. Visage, I think, died in the trees. Phantom Lancer got dusted. Centaur could have escaped, but he blinked back in to get that kill. Yeah, and then Night Stalker died.
Really nice fight. And Arrow Gaming, well, that's going to give them some concerns, as they need this PL to keep farming. And now there's a Shadow Blade up on the Slark, so... to see what kind of protection is up on the Radiant side. Mizun does have a Sentry Ward, but that's just the singular. A Sentry Ward also on the Visage here. But it's MiTH. They're controlling the map right now with Sentry Ward of their own in the mid lane.
And Brewmaster ult is back up, ready to go. So MiTH, aside from the Epicenter, this is a really straightforward fight for them.
They'll drop the Serb Ward. Blink Dagger is picked up for the Brewmaster. It doesn't have it out on him here just yet. The Doom goes down the Night Stalker, but with the Stampede, he should be able to get back to safety. But the problem is, they can't engage now without the Night Stalker. So this will be a wasted Doom, but at the same time, it does guarantee them the T1 mid tower. Burrow Strike gets stolen by the Rubik here. We'll have to see if the T1 tower gets the last hit. Looks like it's going to be ignored for the time being, so it is going to take a fall now. Meanwhile, Rubik manages to catch out the Slacker. That's an important kill to get. There's a Blink Burrow Strike coming in, as well as the Brewmaster's Primal Split, and with that, Visage goes down. Now the Centaur going to be the second hero to take a fall. Does go for double edge before he goes down. Rubik going to go down now. 3 for 1 trade. Night Stalker thrown up in the air. There is going to be a Boulder Toss here, and DDZ, he's on the run. Is there any follow-up damage? There's no, oh, there's a clap just in time with the Burrow Strike, and DDZ may go down. It may be nighttime, but there's no way out of this one. Brewmaster gives him one last wallop to the head with his flail, and that's a 4 for 1 trade. So Slark once again dying, but for the greater good for MiTH.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and fight started off 4v5, but just didn't matter in the slightest with the teamfight ults over on MiTH. And that was without a Doom as well, so it just goes to show off the power of the Primal Split. And the new cooldown's great.
On bottom though, but was PL wasn't really at that fight at all, I don't think.
No, I guess not. So probably 4v4. And I wonder what kind of build he goes for from here, because they are definitely getting 5-man.
I think you just have to go Diffusal Manta type build, or like a Diffusal into Vitality Booster. You just need that. Diffusal's core for sure, so.
Yeah, he could still throw the Yasha in here first, I think,
Yeah,
just because it's one of the best farming items for PL, but we'll see what he does. It depends on how urgently he feels he needs to fight right now.
Yeah.
How much trust he has in his team. Nice stomp, but Johnny's dead, I think.
Well, Boris are going to finish him off. But Tiaba, look for a clap, not going to spot anyone out with the Sank. Taking a lot of damage, and Rubik with the Stealth and Sandstorm actually going to be the Centaur double edge to bring him down, so. This is for the Sanking. At this point, Arrow Gaming will take any 1-for-1 trades they can get. It kills a kill, and MiTH can be the ones who don't want to give up kills themselves. It's the Roshan pit. MiTH feeling confident about this one. Giant chicken, Roshan.
And the cooldown on Serpent Wards is just so good. Like, this hero as a support is fantastic, and
the fights are so dragged out that it feels like every time a new fight comes, like Serpent Ward's already back up. Same for the Brewmaster ulti. His ulti's back up in 7 seconds just because these fights get so dragged out. These spells just come back up so much faster than you would expect.
yeah, and if MiTH are fighting with all of their cooldowns every single time, then they have a very clear advantage as far as these team fights are concerned. And,
Yeah.
well, I think they can probably just force something here. Maybe they look for pickoff first. Mosin, I don't think he knows quite how much trouble he's in right now.
Yeah, well, I guess it's better him than the PL. The PL was maybe the one they were actually going for it. Actually, no, they had the Observer there. They knew that was a Rubik there, so.
All the Rubik wanted was to stack the camp and then sandstorm it to death, but poor guy.
Pretend to be a Sand King.
Everybody wants to be Sand King. This is a cool guy. King of supports.
Close to that level 11, this Sand King, so T2 tower should be easy pickup from MiTH. They don't have the Serpent Wards, but they got plenty of other
Radiant's
cool stuff
bottom
they can use to
tower
bring
is
this
under
down.
attack.
But now going to start working on an Aghanim Scepter. Has the point booster already to start things off, and Arrow Gaming just going to stand back by their T3 towers and watch. And with this, we're looking at a pretty big gold lead, up to about 7.5k gold. And with this tower, it's going to become like an 8.5k gold lead for MiTH. Just 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and I mean, Arrow have gold on the Phantom Lancer, but not a bit of that has contributed to a fight, really, just yet.
Surely he doesn't go Radiant. I feel like that would be a big mistake to make.
It's so good against Blink Daggers, but yeah, I don't think you can get away with a Radiance build this game.
Your illusions need like the stats, like partly why Diffuser is good is your illusions get the mana burn, the feedback, as well as just the general agility and all the other stats from it.
Yeah, I think he needs to get the Diffu for damage and then start tanking up his illusions, because there's just so much damn AoE on MiTH.
Either Manta style or I think you go like just casual Yasha into Heart of Taras. I don't think you need the full Manta until later, maybe.
It is a good stats item for the illusions. They're not super cost efficient.
Airball's the pounce here, but this is just creating space to maybe get the tier 2 tower up if TNK wants to drop them, but there we go. Drops the Serpent Wards, and with this, I don't think Arrow Gaming can really fight into the Serpent Wards, especially when Doom has an Aegis. Also a Shiva's Guard coming out for Lakel's. He is getting really, really rich on this Doom. Just playing that frontline tank. Blink, clap, Arbor, looking for Mosin here. Not going to find him, but the Burrow Strike does find him, and Mosin now getting caught up by a pounce. The Stampede not going to matter. The level death of their Hoof's not going to be a lot of damage here. Slark gets low, but keeps himself alive, and now the Shiva's Guard slowed coming out, and the Primal's put onto the high ground. It looks like that's going to be the death of the Centaur War Runner. This is going to be the second hero to get stunned up. There's your Burrow Strike, Epicenter coming in from Sanking onto the high ground. The Familiar Sun just not making any sort of a difference. Doom goes on the Night Stalker, does have the BKB popped. So that will be MiTH deciding to back off. They're not going to look to commit to this one fully. Centaur actually survives in the end somehow. I don't know how he survived it, but he got out of there on very low HP. MiTH say, look, we get a couple kills, we lose absolutely no one, and let's just back off. Play it safe.
Yeah, back off. They've still got another 3 minutes with the Aegis in hand as well, so probably another high ground opportunity there. TNK even has a Blink Dagger now, Gem on the Sand King. Things are just looking really good. And the PL, what's it going to be? It is a Sacred Relic.
Well, the problem with this is he needs items on top of the Radiant to make the illusion Radiance worth it. I think you just go like Radiance straight into, well, either Manta style or Heart of Taras. Like Radiance Diffusal is probably not your best idea.
No. Yeah, I think the diffusal blade is
need-
a little bit off the table now.
You need tank with the Radiance burn damage. So
Dire's
that's either
middle
Heart of
tower
Tarrasque
is under
or
attack.
Manta style. Maybe just
Yeah,
a
he-
casual Vitality booster, and then your Manta style. But
Yeah, the Radiance and Diffusal are both damage items for the illusions, and now the question is, okay, can I keep a few illusions alive
Dire's
through the
bottom
fight so
tower
I'm
is
still
under
getting
attack.
all of the benefits? And it doesn't even, we're talking about this relic like it's already a Radiance. It's not. He's still got a little bit of gold to farm. And MiTH, well, this Aegis should still at least leverage them this tier 2 top. Like, I don't see Arrow really fighting into the Aegis and trying to defend this. So then it comes down to what can PL farm before they breach up onto the high ground. And aggressive farming from DDZ. He's
yeah,
going
the
to be
Blink
brought down.
Barrow Strike and a Doom will be more than enough to kill him off, and Visage now in trouble as well. Doesn't have the Grave Chill up. Rubik maybe needs to throw a
Radiant's top
Telekinesis.
tower
We'll do
is
so.
under attack.
Prevent the Doom from... Oh, no, it won't prevent from chasing. He's just going to man up. Blink from the Sand King. No Burrow Strike to follow, and with the Serpent Wards, this tier 2 tower should be
Radiant's top
easy
tower is under
pickings
attack.
for MiTH Trust, and that's the last outer tower remaining on the map, so... With this MiTH Trust, now they start considering high ground. The Aegis will expire, so it looks like they won't get a chance to use the
Radiant's top
Aegis,
tower
but...
has fallen.
Sure, the Aegis hasn't been used, but in theory it's helped them actually get all these outer tier 2 towers, and maybe they will actually go high ground. They say, look, we got Aegis, let's at least do some chip damage.
There is a glyph available, so I think Arrow are going to be able to hold this without
Yeah.
too much damage. And yeah, okay, yeah, MiTH very wisely, I think, going to back off as the Night Stalker respawns.
It's a pretty fine timeline with the Aegis expiring, and
Yeah.
Slark's BKB is still at base, so they want to maybe bring that one out first. They maybe want to push up bottom lane. Even waiting for next Roshan is perfectly reasonable. I feel like, sure, PL's going to have Radiance, but he's going to have Radiance whether you push... No, well, he's got Radiance already, so whether you push now or later, it's not going to make too big
Dire's
of a
bottom
difference.
tower is under attack.
And I wonder if this Radiance is going to start turning things at all. I feel like really the answer is no.
It may accelerate his farm a little
Dire's
bit,
bottom
but
tower is under attack.
if the next 5-10 minutes goes okay for Arrow Gaming, then maybe, but I just don't see the next... The next 5-10 minutes is just MiTH Trust taking Aegis and then dropping wards on the high ground. Start chipping away at tier 3 towers.
Yeah, he did get some good damage on this tier 2 down at bottom lane, so the PL has been accomplishing stuff while he's been off and about. But look at MiTH, look at this warding. They just have Arrow completely caged inside of their base, and they're just going to take all the farm that they want. They've got their gem, they've got some fantastic wards down, and well, Arrow with the Radiance deciding that's enough of a timing to try and go out here, but...
This PL's still very squishy. He's going to be
Radiant's
so
middle
careful
tower
in these
is
fights.
under attack.
TNK, this is a good target to go on first. The Hoof Stomp is there. The Burrow Strike only going to catch one here. The BKB being used on the Night Stalker. Doom is not being used just yet. He needs to throw this out on someone. He does end up using it on the Rubik. Stampede goes out. Doom now takes a fall. Shadow Shaman as well. 2 for nothing so far. Good engagement from Arrow Gaming, but now the Epicenter comes in. Boom Bell. He brings down the Centaur, but pays for it with his own life. Primal Split comes a bit late. The fight almost already over. And he's only going after the Night Stalker here. Can't really find any better of a target. Slark needs a pounce. Will he get this? Should be able to do so. Night Stalker trapped in the trees. Primal Split as well. Now the Yule Scepter being thrown up on the Visage here from the Primal Split Warriors. And Mazoon can only just watch this Visage go down, I believe. TNK. Oh, one more Solar Sum. GX goes down to the Familiars. Nice little kill there. Counters there. And oh, the Familiar stun's going to actually buy him the time to get out of there. What was that blink from Arbor?
yeah, that was extremely strange.
I don't know. Was he trying to use his bottle or something? He maybe like double-clicked blink when he meant to use bottle is my guess, but...
He could also be somebody that uses modifiers for skills versus items. So
Dire's middle
his blink
tower
dagger
is
is like
under
Alt
attack.
Q, and his clap is Q. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And then somehow he managed to...
It's a click as well,
blink.
but...
Yeah, there are definitely some people that do that, and I think it was the default Han layout as well. So you get a few more.
That's the
people
item
from
hotkeys
that.
I use. It was like a Dota 1 habit. Because that was the
Okay.
item hotkeys for when you had war keys or whatever it was.
Oh, okay, like the default out of the box
Yeah.
for keys.
For your item hotkey. So I just kept up with that in Dota 2 now as well. It's probably not the most efficient thing, but...
The only thing
habits.
the only thing that people I would say is that it's not that great for shift queuing. Like you
Yeah,
shift
you have
queue
to
a whole
push-
lot on Tinker, then.
Yeah.
But
First
anyway,
gonna go for a smoke now. Oh, blink onto the high ground with the Burrow Strike, and Slark's gonna find the Rubik. The other 3 heroes will stay smoked up. They're looking for other prey. And it's going to come in the form of the Visage here. Center actually going onto the high ground as well. Needs to Stampede to try to get out of here, but he doesn't have one. And with this is... Oh, it's all over for Arrow Gaming. At least this fight. They're all just going to straight up die here. PL Illusions are the only thing that's actually gone into the fight, but that's a 3-hero clearance coming out from MiTH Trust. 3 for nothing here. They still have the Serpent Wards if they want to try and push the high ground. And it looks like they're maybe considering it here. They're healing up using the Urn Charges, and still plenty more Urn Charges to play around with.
And they haven't even used the mech yet, so...
Yeah. Here comes the creep wave. PL Illusion's trying to stall it. I just, like, why would you pick PL to do this when you could have a Naga Siren? That's what I don't get. Naga Siren just does this 10 times better.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Naga was not banned, I'm pretty
Radiant
sure.
structures are fortified.
Here we go, the push is on. The Serpent ones were stolen by the Rubik, so this is a nice bit of buffer damage. Slark actually getting very low here. He hasn't got his BKB up. He's trying to scurry his way out of the base. Will succeed in doing so. PL meanwhile getting doomed up, but he's going to make it back to the fountain, it looks like, and Doom forced to pop his BKB, and he's going to come back, get the tier 3 tower, and now start working around the Raxes, and the Primal Split Warriors there as well, creating a nice little buffer and just giving that extra burst damage here to bring down these Raxes. Melee Rax getting very low, still alive though. Serpent Ward's there now as well. Blink, Hoofstomp coming in as well. Slark pops his BKB, and there's your Epicenter. Blink in from the Sand King. Night Stalker gets low. It's still daytime as the other big problem for Arrow Gaming here. No one actually going down here. The Shiver's Guard being thrown out by Lakel. Solar Assumption on TNK. TNK, the first hero to really die in this team fight. And Rax is kept alive, so Arrow Gaming, they stay just barely alive, it feels like.
Dire's top tower is
MiTH
under
Trust
attack.
forced back. Roshan now
Radiant's
alive,
middle
but
barracks are under attack.
Arrow Gaming, a breath of fresh air for them as they finally manage to get out of their own base.
Yeah, and a pretty successful overall team fight, really. Like, MiTH didn't... It's not like MiTH walked in there with,
Dire's bottom
with
tower
some of their
is under
cooldowns
attack.
missing. That was pretty much a full-on 5v5 as best as they could have asked for, but...
Dire's
Arrow
middle
showing signs
tower
of life.
has
Maybe
fallen.
the
Dire's bottom
maybe the
tower
cancer
has
is real.
fallen.
God.
Well, they get the
Dire's
Vitality
middle
booster on
tower is
PL, so
under
he can go
attack.
straight for the Heart of Tarrasque, or talk about like the Mantis a bit earlier on, maybe what he wants to go for as well, but they scout out Roshan, Arrow Gaming, but I don't think they want to go for Roshan here. Not going to be the best idea, and Slark has a gem. He's just going to solo kill lands. That's bad news. Really bad news.
And Mosin caught out. Is going to get right-clicked down by the Doom. Everybody else is going to bail out, but...
Mosin was just off on his own. I think he was trying to get down some wards, maybe, but not worth it by any means. And now comes the push mid. They've got Serpent Wards back up. Panda ulti is alive in 3 seconds, so with an Ags ulti, I think this may be Rax's. PL does not have buyback. He bought a Yasha, so this to me is Rax's, and there's no way you can defend it. Blink flat, actually. Ooh, not going to get the Primal Split off. Centaur now getting locked in place by a Pounce as well as a Burrow Strike. He tried to Stampede out of there. Doesn't get a chance to do so. He does have the buyback, but I don't think it... Well, he's going to buy back now, but the Raxes are dead regardless. The Serpent Ward's actually being dropped at bottom lane, and it's daytime again. Night Stalker without ultimate. It's daytime. These pushes being timed so perfectly by MiTH Trust. This is so difficult to defend. They've got a BKB on the Night Stalker on the front lines, but even in that BKB form, he just offers so little as far as damage output goes. PL back alive now will cause some concern for MiTH Trust, as they do not want to get lanced down too much by the Radiance Illusions. They'll back off, but they've got themselves Raxes, and they can fall back and take Roche.
Yeah, Roche is basically free as well. Like, they should just probably get some wards up, do a little bit of dewarding, make sure that mid lane is pushing out appropriately, and from that they should just be able to judge whether or not Arrow are going to try and do anything here. And
they've got Primal Split and Epicenter, so I think if Arrow Gaming come, they just get caught up by Epicenter from the high ground, not to mention the Primal Split.
Yeah, and that Alpha Wolf aura is just really solid. Like, they don't have the best Roshan lineup, but with 3 melee heroes just right-clicking away, works out pretty well.
Well, they'll get Aegis, and with Serpent Wards coming up in 40 seconds, I think they just head straight bottom and go for this next set of Raxes. They've got all their ultis apart from those Serpent Wards, which will be up by the time they reach, so... Where's this Brewmaster headed? He wants a rune. He's going to find an Invis rune, and then he'll probably meet up with his team at this bottom lane. Actually, no, TP home from Shadow Shaman, so... The push is not going to be coming now. They're going to wait out at least a minute or two.
I think they are... Okay, Scotty complete on the Slark. Doom might be able to grab like 1 item before they push up out of the high ground if he farms for a little bit, and the Brewmaster can add another level to his Necro book.
Yeah.
Might even be able to grab Necro 3
Yeah,
before they get high ground.
If they want to wait a couple minutes, they definitely can. And that's where they've got this Aegis for a few minutes. Worst case scenario, PL finishes like a Manta style or maybe a Heart of Tarask if you really push it, but that's not too bad a scenario. It's actually the one big thing. I think is it just hit nighttime or is it still daytime?
I feel like you wouldn't have popped the darkness unless we were
just hitting night.
Yeah, unless we were moving into night.
Okay.
I guess we'll find out in
20,
a little bit.
20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Even with nighttime, they're still more than confident enough to push this bottom lane. Oh, that's the other thing they're waiting for. Brewmaster just hits level 16. That's probably the main thing they were waiting on. So they've got the level 3 primal split. The Skadi there on the Slack you mentioned, and yeah, Doom actually picks up a Hyperstone. So we'll be working on the Assault Crest, possibly even Mjolnir. Mjolnir's not bad on Doom, but I think the Assault Crest more likely.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the Slark with this Aegis can probably just kill 3 heroes by himself in this next team fight.
The Serpent Wards get dropped, the Necro minions as well. This tier 3 tower. There is a glyph if they want to try and defend it here. The Night Stalker going in, he's just going to get straight up Doom. That's going to protect the Serpent Wards more than anything. Sanctum goes in with the Blink Burrow Strike, saves the Epicenter for later on. The Stampede now causing MiTH some problems. They're going to lose the Doom here. And this Night Stalker, he may have been Doom, but he's still doing a lot of work here. Slark's just chasing down the PL. Meanwhile, the rest of the heroes are focusing down the Raxes. Nice distraction coming in from the Slark. And with that, the PL just can't defend. He got completely zoned out of the fight. Arbor can't actually go for his ultimate for the time being. Does get forced up out of there. He needs to get this Primal Split off. He's going to be kept alive just that little bit longer. One more Void going to come. The Primal Split is there. The bottom melee rack's going to go down now as well. And here we go. The Primal Split's coming out. Throw those claps. The Burrow Strikes. The Epicenter on absolutely everyone. PL Night Stalker. They take a spill. Both immediately buying back. The Dooms also returned to the fight. I think he actually bought back. Yes, he did. The Primal Split Warrior is still causing havoc in the fight. It will end. Immediate blink out from Arbor. Chase is now on. Night Stalker Void. They want Arbor here. No blink dagger for some time. He's going to go down. They did get the melee racks that they came for. The chase is on. They don't want just him. They want more than this. TNK, Hex, Blink. No TP just yet. He's going to try and hide here, but the vision is more than enough. The Void will cancel it. TNK going to go down. Blink, Hoof Stomp to help finish him off. And, well, Arrow Gaming, they clear out a few heroes, but they still lose Raxes, which is really just, to me, the big story about that fight.
And throwing so many buybacks into it as well. Slark gets fooled by an illusion, but it's not going to be too bad. But yeah, they're up 2 lanes of Rax now. They can just do the exact same thing, set up wards, reset. And Arrow, honestly, they just need to hammer out lanes as far as they possibly can and then try for a smoke. But the furthest they're going to get with a smoke before it becomes really suspicious is probably to the river. So best chance is maybe finding somebody in their own jungle. And that would be pretty greedy from MiTH, in all honesty.
Well, Doom's Assault Crest or whatever it may be will be slowed down a bit by the buyback, so... I think MiTH know, like, if they want to hold off and wait till they farm Assault Crest, wait till the next Roshan's up even. Sure, that's at least 4 minutes away. Arrow Gaming, they're not getting that much scarier. The fact that PL has to keep buying back to hold on means he has absolutely no item progression. So waiting 5 minutes is not really like a full 5 minutes of PL farm when he just bought back in the last team fight.
Yeah, and if they pick off any of the heroes that just bought back, that's game over.
Yeah.
Right there.
And it looks like they don't even care about waiting for these next few items. They're all congregating towards the top lane, so... Arbor maybe going to look to clear off one mid lane here, and this will be his Necro 3? Oh, he's a bit short still. They're pinging Arbor. They're like, dude, we're top. We got 4 heroes top. Why aren't you with us? And Arrow going to look to engage on top lane. The Hoof Stomp not going to come. The double BKB from MiTH Trust. Here goes a Burrow Strike coming in. That's going to be a dead Visage now to start off the fight. Meanwhile, TNK, he's in some trouble. Doesn't get the Serpent Wards off. The Doom got used on the Phantom Lance. The Shiver's Guard slow is going to reach Lance. And looks like Lakells wants to try and finish off the PL. The Doom still has a long duration. I think Lance is in all sorts of trouble. Burrow Strike from the low ground. Not going to land. Lance still alive. Just barely. Needs a bit more damage. Gets the Invis off and no detection. He barely survives it.
Oh, it's still only Necro 2.
Yeah. Necro 3 just now purchased. And Slark, oh, he dies. He drops the gem as well. Quite see how that one happened, but he went and engaged and back into Arrow Gaming on his own. And bit of a misplay coming out from MiTH Trust, it feels as they're going to look to rotate top. Boombell needs to be careful. Well, Boombell, he's going to be okay. He's actually leading the charges. MiTH, did they buy? They bought back Shadow Shaman. Maybe the MiTH getting a bit sloppy here in the late game, but they've got such a big lead, it's not really costing them.
But the Phantom Lancer is definitely a hero that could punish them for making bad decisions.
Yeah.
At this point. So we'll see. Okay, yeah, they're gonna back off.
It's still like a 38+ minute Manta style radiance. Like that just does not sound scary at all.
It accelerates really quickly, I think is the thing. And now he's pretty relevant in fights as well. Like you've seen MiTH now devoting a hell of a lot more resources just to stopping the illusion army building up. They're now actually surviving through some of the incidental AoE as well. So I don't know. I think if MiTH lose like 1 or 2 more fights, then this PL could get completely out of hand. But again, they can just completely switch into, okay, somebody make sure that bot lane is pushed in, mid lane's pushed in, go up, drop the wards, get a little bit of damage on the tower, back out.
Invisibility.
Like, and the big thing is, even these fights, which they're not doing that well, and they're still not losing them. They're not getting team wiped. They're either trading kills or forcing out buybacks. Maybe buying back themselves, which is where they get a bit sloppy. But end result is they've still got all the items they need. And Arrow Gaming is struggling to finish these next few items. There's Soul Crest soon on the Night Stalk in about 300-400 gold. PL just finished his Manta style, and they've only just managed to get these items. Like, they're struggling to get any sort of item progression.
Oh, they see the Centaur!
Blink onto the high ground, doesn't get the Primal Split off. Needs to use that Primal Split, but he's not actually silenced. Now they'll finally use it. The Serpent Ward's being dropped. They may just try to focus down the tier 3 tower and Rakdos, and it looks like that's exactly what Lakel's is doing. Blink, Epis, and a Burrow Strike going through. Lance taking a bit of damage here. Now the Blink hooks on. Going to catch out 3 heroes, it looks like. Shanky's taking a lot of damage. Has a full stuff in 3 seconds. He's not going to get a chance to use it, though. Tier 3 tower going to go down to the Serpent Wards and the Primal Split Warriors, and K now on the run. Arbor on the run. Blink. Hoof stomp. Arbor getting locked into place. The Hex is there. Are there any Familiar Suns? Doesn't look like it. Arbor has a blink. Well, no, he doesn't have a blink. These Familiars constantly just right-clicking away on him. He's got a blink in 1 second. Nope, cancelled again. He's not getting a chance to use it. Arbor will go down by the looks of things. There's your Familiar Suns. And Wizard gets the kill there. So, Arrow hold again. I guess more convincing than the last few holds, but they do still lose the tier 3 tower. Every hold is just costing them a little fraction of their base, which is they've only got so much to give up right now.
Yeah, and I think it'll come to a point where MiTH are like, guys, buy 5 Necrobooks, and like that'll be that. So we'll see. Arrow, like you said, much more convincing hold than the last, but they definitely need to be the ones initiating the next fight. I don't know what the Centaur was doing, sitting right on the lip there, and this dire ward over on the hill.
Yeah, actually, no, it doesn't quite spot it spotted him during the non-darkness, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the limited Night Stalker vision. It's a cool little ward spot.
It just reached across.
Yeah. Because that was like what looked to be a blind blink onto the high ground. Like, that's where I think it caught the Centaur by surprise. Because he's like, wait, how does he know I'm positioned exactly there?
Yeah, but why is he there with the coming up? Like, he's the one initiator for Arrow, so... Though it didn't end up being too bad, like, it's now so important that they get the jump so that they stop, the MiTH don't just surge up onto the buildings and just beat the buildings to death.
I feel like Arrow Gaming really want to contest this Roshan, but I don't know if they're going to get there in time to do so. They're actually making a move towards it now. They're pinging. I think they realize how important this is, because MiTH just keep throwing bodies at Rakdos, and if those bodies have Aegis and Cheese, suddenly Rakdos will go down. And unfortunately for them, well, it's too late. Roshan is going to take a fall, and this is going to be Aegis and Cheese on the side of MiTH.
Immortality.
This next push may well be these top Rakdos, assuming MiTH just execute with some level of competency.
That's high praise, gods. But yeah.
I don't mean this in a negative way.
But yeah, MiTH this should be pretty straightforward. And Arrow Gaming, they're like, we can't let them get close to our buildings.
Rubik, oh yeah, he gets spotted now. He's sanking the Burrow Strike. They're going to bring down the Rubik to start the fight. Actually, Centaur shows up, but he gets immediately doomed. That means no Stampede in this fight. Actually a pretty big deal here. Centaur goes down, immediately buys back. Can Stampede, but he's actually going to TP first. Doom, meanwhile, wants to bring down this Visage here. Actually going to drop a level death onto the Phantom Lancer. Doom actually pops the cheese. Nicely played from the Kells. They'll keep him alive just that little bit longer. Centaur's used to Stampede now. And Arrow Gaming, no damage has really been dealt here. They've only taken losses. They've lost Visage, they've lost Rubik, they've had to buy back the Centaur, and that's a curious pause timing. It's actually a disconnection from Arbor. He didn't even get off his ulti in that fight, so apologies come out, which it was a bit of an unfortunate timing on the DC, but it was a DC nonetheless. And Lance, he's hexed up, he's spotted by this gem. He's possibly in some trouble here. There's a Blink Hoof Stomp from Centaur, but can he stun the Shadow Shaman and the Slark is the big question. Not to mention the Doom, who's now about to be running in as well.
And I don't think they even know the Slark is there.
Oh, that's actually a...
Yeah.
That's a bigger problem as well. Familiars all have stuns. Okay, so the triple Familiar stun in theory should be enough to save the PL.
Yeah, the Visage is dead as well, so there should be no micro issues here. But
yeah. We'll see how this Slark comes into play, though. Slark may just catch him completely by surprise in Viz up. Doesn't look like they have any detection here. Slark going to go in. The Centaur Blink Hoopstorm catches up too, but the Slark has been completely ignored. PL does get mech back up. Now the stuns come in, and now the PL will go down. Blink, Primal Split from the Brewmaster. TNK, the Shackle to save his life there. He's still somehow crawling. Lakel's as well. Both those two heroes somehow do not go down, and now Visage, well, he may be in some trouble. There's actually... There we go. There's a Drunken Haze. There's no Boulder Toss. The Earth Panda... It's gone missing. It's gone AWOL. It's actually running up top. What are these? Oh, I guess they're going to push out the wave is the problem right now. So they back off for the time being. Serpent Wards are back up, but unfortunately Shadow Shaman is still dead, so... I think they're going to wait this one out a little bit. They still have the Aegis. They'll wait for the Shadow Shaman and then try and go for that high ground push. It's a one team fight for MiTH Trust. They force out some buybacks. It's a pretty good fight for them.
Yeah, they forced out, I think, Centaur buyback, PL buyback, Visage buyback.
Yeah.
So, did cost them a Sand King buyback.
Yeah, and Sand King didn't really need a buyback, maybe, but hey, I don't think it's going to cost them. It doesn't prevent MiTH Trust from going for a push. And most importantly, they still have the Aegis on Slark if they do want to go for another push here. I think Slark also about to pick up another big item. He just passed the gem over. Oh no, nothing yet.
Probably just Basher / Abyssal for him.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Sounds about right. It doesn't need any sort of MKB type item. So yeah. Picks up the Basher and it'll be KYT well on his way to being a 6-slotted Slark. As Gem now on the Sand King. Actually got double Gem. Sand King as well as Brewmaster. So Gems all over the place. Not hurting them to have these extra gems. And once again, MiTH Trust just have great vision across the map. Like near the enemy base, near the bottom river, near the Ancients. They just making it really hard for Arrow Gaming to move out of their base whatsoever. Not that Arrow Gaming really can move out of their base when they're defending 3 Raxes down.
Yeah, the Phantom Lancer never really got the opportunity to get all that much split pushing done. Like, I think total split push casualties for the PL were a tier 1 bot, maybe the tier 2 bot.
Yeah.
As well, and that was about it. The 5-man for MiTH was just snuck in a couple of minutes too quickly, and well, now they're just going to be able to head straight up onto the high ground. Necrobook already used. They've got the Serpent Wards. Yeah. Arrow have to get a really good initiation down here.
There is a glyph. They're just going to straight up doom the Night Stalker, and that means there's no darkness in this fight. It's going to be daytime for this entire fight. As long as the Night Stalker is doomed, and now the Slark pops his BKB. It looks like they just want to focus down the Raptors. Glyph not actually being used. It gets used too late. The melee Raptor's already dead, so MiTH Trust, they want to disengage, they can, but for now they're just throwing heroes up in the air. Now the darkness finally being popped. The range track's being focused down by the Serpent Wards. This is going to be both top lane of Raptors, so even if MiTH Trust get team wipe here, it's going to be A-okay for them. They lose the Slark, but he's got an Aegis. He comes back in the fight. He wants Lance, and Lance does not have a buyback if he goes down, but MiTH Trust decide, let's back off. Mega Creeps it is, as the bottom Rax goes down. It looks like to the Brewmaster / the Siege Creep. And with Mega Creeps on the side of MiTH Trust, it looks like they may be the team to advance to the group stages of the Inaugural, because Arrow Gaming, they've got a PL, so it's not over, but beating Mega Creeps is a tough ask.
It's 5-man all in, and then get wiped out and lose.
Yeah, MiTH Trust, like, If they want, they wait Roshan, they wait Aegis, and with so much at stake here, they may as well do that, I feel.
Yeah, there's I think they're already like, okay, sigh of relief, just last little hurdle to go, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And wow, actually, line drawn from Lakel's. He's like, screw it.
Mid.
I want mid. I want all in. I want my mega creep victory here.
Easy
right
for
now.
him to say. He's got buyback, so he's like, yeah, look, worst case scenario, I'll have to buy back, no problem.
Yeah, it's like 40. I got 40 armor worth of 2,300 hit point doom with a mech and a BKB and a buyback. You know, let's go. Let's fight.
Brewmaster almost has his buyback. He's just 300 short. Same for the Slark, actually. So they're going to have
Radiant's
buybacks on
courier
all
has
their
been
core heroes
killed.
soon. Oh, the courier dies. That was the PL's heart. He's missing his Reaver.
Oh no.
Oh man. Well, sad times. Bit of missed micro. Maybe he actually got sniped, but oh boy, that's not good. And looks like you say, they're going to go straight down this mid lane. Brewmaster now with buyback. Slark's just 20 gold short. He'll have it by the time this fight kicks off, and it's going to be hard to defend if they pop the darkness in advance. This Nightstalker getting constantly doomed, so he does not want that to happen again. And now we look towards the base being broken here. They're on the high ground mid trust, but they're just looking for a way to get the engagement that they want to take. This poor PL could have had a harder terrace for this fight, I believe. But unfortunately, the Korea going down, and I don't think there's much Arrow Gaming can do except watch in dismay as their base gets torn to pieces. Even once again on the Night Stalker, it is nighttime. He was pretty fast, but he's just going to have to throw his life. I think he's got buyback here, so he's just happened to suicide. Epicenter bleaking from the Sand King. A lot of AoE damage coming in. They bring down the Centaur as well as the Night Stalker. Immediate buyback. Peel takes a fall now. 90 seconds on the sideline. Vision just throwing solar summon from the back. TMK going to go blinking forward here, and Night Stalker dies a second time. That's GG. Arrow Gaming. It was a close 3-game series, but in the end, it's MiTH who pull ahead. They scrape on through. They are going on to the main event for the inaugural. Congratulations to these guys. But Arrow Gaming, they put up a big fight, but MiTH show that they are the true veterans when it comes to the Southeast Asian Dota scene.
Yeah, I think a very, very convincing final 2 games for MiTH, and I think showing a lot that first game was I wouldn't say that the draft was all over the place, but it was just a very difficult game, and the draft had one specific way to win, and then outside of that, they didn't really have anything else. But yeah, they pick what works for them in games 2 and 3, and do manage to close it out. So they're going to be advancing into which group in the main event?
A with Titan, Zephyr, and RRQ.
Cool. So that should be a pretty entertaining one.
And then
for
Group
sure.
B is Scythe, Orange, the winner of MVP Phoenix versus Mineski, and then the winner of Immunity versus Execration / Everlast. So some interesting groups. I think Group A has the bigger name teams, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be the stronger group. Like you've got Titan, Zephyr, and now MiTH all there. Not to mention RRQ, who's made a pretty big name for themselves. So Group A looks scary, and I think it may be a slightly tougher group, but I think MVP Phoenix definitely not a team to be. Well, assuming they beat Mineski. I mean, even if Mineski play well, who knows what Mineski are capable of?
I don't know if Mineski know what Mineski are capable of some days.
Alrighty, well that does it. We had a bit of a long day today. It's pretty late over there and pretty early over here. But we got some good European Dota going on, so that means we get to kick back and watch some WPC action. So for those of you who don't know,
Nice.
WPC, Western action going on. I believe it's Team Dog up against Empire at the moment, and then Alliance versus Cloud9. Some best of 2s over on the Beyond the Summit 2 channel. So I think myself and Basically are going to go enjoy those.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm what time is it now? It is currently almost 3 a.m. so it might be VODs for me. We'll see.
Okay.
But
Well,
thanks for having me on, God. It's always a pleasure.
No problem. You guys go check out Baseskip, support him. Well, hopefully to be big time caster from the Australian scene. You can follow him on Twitter at Baseskip, as well as check out his stream. You're actually streaming more often. I see you streaming every now and then.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to. It's just I got a little bit swamped with university stuff, and now I'm sort of back on top of it. So when I have the chance, I do like to stream a bit here and there. So yeah, if people want to check it out, that would be fantastic.
Cool. Well, I'm sure people will be hearing more of your voice here for the inaugural over the next week or two as we get onto the main event as well as our last couple of play matches. But Big thanks to Baseskip. Big thanks to the viewers for all tuning in, as well as our sponsors, Twitch TV, for powering the tournament, as well as 100TB and esportsventure.com. You can check out their links below the stream. 100TB offer great server hosting options, and Esports Venture, a great betting site. If you sign up through Beyond the Summit, you get all kinds of cool bonuses. You get a €5 bonus, as well as a 10% deposit on bonus on your first deposit. So click the link to sign up through BTS to get those. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We've got action kicking off tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Singapore time. It's actually moved forward 30 minutes, which is a bit of a last-minute update. So tune in tomorrow for more action from the inaugural. But for now, guys, myself, Gods, Baseskip, signing off. See you guys tomorrow.